Homeowner drains his pool. The pool drains at a constant rate. Constant means it's changing at the same rate the whole time. The amount of water in the pool changes by negative 5.25 gallons in 1 hour. Wow, that's really slow. What is the change in the amount of water in the pool after 2/3 of an hour? Well, we know that the change in 1 hour is negative 5.25 gallons. So we want to know what 2/3 of that hour's change is. So let's just multiply 2/3 times negative 5.25, because when you see of, that almost always means multiplication. We're getting 2/3 of 1 hour's change, so it's 2/3 of 5.25. It happens to be negative. Okay, now we got a little tricky bit here. They're not in the same format. I've got a fraction, I've got a decimal. My easiest thing to do is actually turn that into a fraction. So I know my answer is going to be negative, so I'm just going to put this negative here, and I'm going to ignore the negative in all my operations at this point. Let's get that focused better. There we go. So I know that my answer is negative since I've got one negative in this multiplication stream. I'm just going to put that negative down there to remind myself, and I'm going to do all my work without the negative. So I've got 2/3 times, I need to turn that into a fraction form, so 5 1/4. And then I need to change this into improper fraction form. 2/3 times, okay, that becomes 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1, so that's 21/4. Well, this is a very convenient fraction because this and this have common factors, and this have common factors. So I'm going to factor 3 out here, that becomes a 1. I'm going to factor 3 out there, that becomes 7. I'm going to factor 2 out here, that becomes 1. I'm going to factor 2 out here, it becomes 2. And now I've got 1/1. So this is now 1/1 times 7/2. That's just 1 times 7/2. So my answer is 7/2. It happens to be negative. So 7/2, negative 7/2, which is the same as negative 3.5. or negative 3.5. So my answer is negative 3.5, or negative 3 1/2. Okay? Write that a little neater. There you go.